everyone. I hope everyone's having a wonderful week so far. Um, Recently, I had a friend of mine tell me that she could listen to my stories for days and weeks and whatnot. So I'm gonna start sharing them with everyone else because I apparently live a very crazy, interesting life, but that's fine. um, so I wanted to start off by sharing the story of how my apartment building flooded one very early morning. I have my cup of tea with me and my favorite droid because it is storming outside. Um, and yeah, so let's get cozy. And as I share the story of that flood that happened, so I get home at it's at least 1 in the morning because I had just worked a very long double shift at work. I come home, I change into my PJs, climb into bed. I think I put like a stupid rom-com on, and well, it wasn't stupid, but anyways, put a movie on, and I just, pass out because that's my life after, working a double. And I'm pretty sure I had to be back into work the next day at like 10. I could be wrong. I don't really remember, but yeah, so I go to bed and at like 3:30 something like that in the morning, I am awoken by the fire alarm going off. And since I live in an apartment, like in a complex, our fire alarm sounds like those school fire alarms, like the rah, rah, rah thing going on. So it wasn't my smoke detector going off. It's like a literal fire alarm going off. So I quickly put shoes on, grab my keys and my phone, and I head outside. There's like 3 other people down there, and I'm looking around. I don't see flames. There's no flames at all. The only light on was the one from my kitchen because I can see it from the window. I left it on when I left. And I'm looking around at the other people and I go, hey, has anyone called 911 yet? And everyone just kind of looks around at me and goes, And I'm like, all right, so let's all be adults here. I understand it's 3 in the morning, but let's maybe do that. So I call, and the dispatcher picks up and she asks, can you see any flames? And I said, no. There's no flames. The only sign of light, like I already said, is the light from my kitchen. It is an apartment building. It is possible maybe there are flames. I just can't see them. And she said, okay, go ahead, do me a favor, like just walk the perimeter around the building, see if you see anything. So I do that, and I'm like, no, there's nothing. And I'm asking the other people, like, hey, have you guys seen anything? And they're like, no, we have no idea what's going on. We just kind of came out. And meanwhile, there's more people just kind of groggily coming down, not knowing what's going on. So, she said, all right, just make sure that everyone stays, 5 feet away from the building. Get everyone out to a safe distance. Help is on the way. They are coming. I am going to stay on the line with you until they get there. And all of a sudden, this woman comes running down the stairs, screaming, we have to turn the water off. We have to turn the water off. We have to turn the water off. And we're like, okay, if there's a fire, the last thing we're going to do is turn the water off. And she's like, no, we have to turn the water off. We have to turn it off. And we're like, why? And she's like, we have to turn the water off. I'm like, great. Why? What's going on that we have to turn the water off? And I'm still on the phone with the dispatcher who is like, do not turn the water off. And I'm like, I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to turn the water off. Mind you, I don't even know how to turn the water off for an entire apartment building. So this girl is running around trying to find out where the water's going. She's opening up like breaker boxes. She's opening up electrical closets. I mean, she's trying to figure this out. So finally, someone is able to get out of her that a pipe bursted in her ceiling. She lives on the top floor, so they have like an attic area, and a pipe bursted up there, and it was flooding her apartment. That took like a solid 5 minutes to get this out of her, by the way. And we keep telling her, like, the dispatcher's like, I hear that it's flooding, still don't turn the water off because that could, cause more damage. You're not the plumbing professional there. I understand that it's devastating. Just don't do it. And we're trying to calm her down. She's not calm. I mean, and rightfully so. I'd be freaking the frack out if, my apartment is flooding and I'm about to lose everything. So we're telling her, the fire department's coming, and she's like, no, they'll never come. They're never gonna come. They're never gonna come. And we're like, no, they're gonna come. Look, we can see them. She's like, nope, they're never gonna come. They never come. They're never gonna come. We're like, no, but look, there are lights and a big red truck. We can see them. And she's like, no, you're wrong. They're not. They're never gonna come. And I shouldn't be laughing, but this poor girl was just so panicked at this point. And I thought the girl that, like, there was two, like, another woman, the one that got her to explain why we need to turn the water off, I was under the impression they were roommates. They were not roommates. She just was a random person who was able to get that information out of her. And then the woman that asked the girl at the flooding apartment, she asked her, where are your keys? Because the fire department's going to need to get into your apartment. And she's like, I don't know. And she goes, so is your apartment locked? Yeah, it's locked. Okay, well, where are your keys? I have no idea. So how did you lock your apartment? I don't know. Okay, is it locked or is it unlocked? And at this point, one of the firefighters told her, oh, don't worry about it. We can always axe down your door. And I'm like, no. Why would you tell someone freaking out already that we're just going to axe down your door? Like, so come to find out, her apartment door was not locked. It had remained unlocked, but her building, her unit, the unit below her, and the two in front of her, like the unit in front of her and the one below that one, their apartments flooded. So that whole like half of my building, their units were destroyed. And it was a solid, I think like a month that they were not living there, and they were staying, I mean, they were put up somewhere, but yeah. So at like 4 at this point, I look at one of the firefighters and I'm like, can I go back inside now? And he was like, yeah, y'all are good. Like, water's turned off. It'll be back on tomorrow morning. Just, and I'm like, all right, cool. So I decide, yeah, I'm not going to sleep as much as I wanted to at this point. So I come back in, I crack open a beer, and I put on the episode of The Office with the fire drill. Because I figured that was appropriate, and I ended up passing out like right after that scene. But, and I still made it to work on time the next day, and I shared that story with everyone, and it was a good time. But yeah, so that was how my unit flooded. Now, my unit was fine. It wasn't harmed in any way. Basically, with my apartment, it's like there's 2 sides. Like, I'm on this side, and there's a bunch of more units on this side, and there's just like a concrete slab that separates them. I was not on the side that was connected by that water line, so my unit was fine. But yeah, that is the story of how my apartment building flooded at 3 in the morning. An exciting time. Yeah, if there are any other stories that that I've told, you want me to share them, feel free, shout them out. I will be more than happy to share them, pending that I can share them. Like they're appropriate and whatnot. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Yeah, see you later, guys. Bye.